To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under heaven. Things do not just happen, they happen in their time. You cannot separate your experiences from your seasons. The reason for snow is winter. The reason for rain is rainy season. If you want to know why it's happening now, ask your season. On August 15, 2012, I had an encounter with the Lord, and this was what I heard from the Lord. This is the 21st century. Now, we were already 12 years into the 21st century, and the Lord said, this is the 21st century. And he had told me before the encounter that he was going to show me something about the number 21. Before this time, I knew nothing about numbers. I knew nothing about, and I wasn't, I wasn't really interested, So he said he was going to show me something about the number 21 and number 22. It was so strange to me. And I was in a season of, fasting and prayer. And 15th, the midnight into 15th of August, the Lord said to me, the reason I kept you here is to tell you that this is the 21st century. I didn't know what to do with that. And he said, I want you to know that the 21st century is foreshadowed in the 21st book of the Bible and in the 21st chapters of the Bible. That was even more strange. And I said to myself, I will never open my mouth to tell anybody this kind of thing unless the Lord shows me also that the 20th century had been foreshadowed in the 20th book of the Bible, and the 19th century had been foreshadowed in the 19th century, and the 18th century, just like that, until I get to the first century. So, because, I had been, chapter and verse had been my thing. I want to see it chapter and verse. I want to see where is it in the book, where is the chapter, where is the verse. So I'm that kind of person. That's how I'd always studied my Bible. So I was venturing into something new that I didn't really understand. So I began to study the Bible afresh. Okay, Lord, no doubting, I'm going to look at the 21st book of the Bible and the 21st chapters of the Bible and see, how this is applicable to the 21st century. And then I went into the 20th book of the Bible and the 20th chapters of the Bible. I began to study the Bible according to chapter categories. I went into the 20th book of the Bible and 20th chapters of the Bible to see if it meant anything to, if there was any relationship to what I saw in those passages of scripture and what happened in the 20th century. So I would read about it. I read about the 19th century, so I went into the 19th book of the Bible, the book of Psalms, to see, and the 19 chapters of the Bible, to see if there was any relationship between what happened in the 19th century and what the Bible has in the 19th book and the 19 chapters. I did that till I got to the first book of the Bible and the first chapters of the Bible and the first century of the church. I did that and it was amazing. The more I read, the more I was convinced that what the Lord was saying to me was true. Sometimes I would read and tears would come, run down my cheeks because of how real these things seemed. And so from 2012, I began to speak about the 21st century. That's where I began to get understanding about times and seasons. Because one of the things that you find in the 21st book of the Bible, the book of Ecclesiastes about time, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says, to every everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And other chapters of the book had something to say about time and chance. So it became that important. So all the Lord has taught me, and all I have taught about times and seasons began, August 2012. I actually began teaching them in 2013. So I learned all that came as a result of that encounter. But it was all about showing us what was coming in the 21st century, or what, the issues to help us understand the 21st century. So in this channel, we're going to, expand our territory and begin to look at other issues. We've spent a lot of time, and we're still doing that, to talk about times and seasons. So on this channel, you have you have, things, said about the 21st century, and I hope to say more. I hope to have a time when I'm going to talk about the 21st century and the 21st book of the Bible, the 21st century and the 21st chapters of the Bible, to explain how they relate. But I'm also going to be looking at other issues, the things that are issues, the things that we face in this season. I'm going to be talking about marriage, because marriage has come under serious attack. As a matter of fact, we're going to be launching a school of marriage in this, because that's one of the things that the enemy has attacked, or is attacking, in the 21st century. And so our own best form of attack is offense. So we're going to launch a school of marriage as part of this channel, to be able to bring insights and understandings, and perhaps, who knows, help answer some questions about marriage. So other issues, things that, the questions that arise out of this 21st century: why is this happening? Why is that happening? We trust the Lord that some of these things will be addressed as we expand this channel and bring in other things happening. So all that I have thought about times and seasons, different aspects of it, how that you have a season. I've taught that in birth order. I've talked about the seasons of life. I talked about the seasons of years. Since 2012, I've almost spoken about, or 2014, I've spoken about every year of the 21st century, from 2014 down to 2026, or up to 2026, where we are. So you can find videos on this channel about, these years, 2020, 2021, different things. And then you can find videos on every week of the year, every 7 weeks of the year, every month of the year, whether it is the biblical month or the month of the Gregorian calendar. You can find that. You can find things about each day of the season, and much more. So they're all here on this channel. But just to say that you can always find those, but we will also be adding other things to this channel. So when you see that we launch a school of marriage, it's not a different thing. It's all part of what is going on in the 21st century. I want you to be in the know, so you can be in the flow. God bless you.